Hello, my name is Rachel Corbett, and this is an extremely long story. Now, as you probably know, as you can see in your computer, like down there, it is December 17th, and anyone who spends very much time on YouTube knows that this is the day of the Project for Awesome. Project for Awesome is something put on every year by two of my favorite people in the whole world, John and Hank Green of the Vlog Brothers. Now, I'm a nerd fighter myself, so this project is very near and dear to me, and especially the whole aspect of donating to charities and getting an entire day of YouTube, too, featuring very good charities is a totally awesome idea, and this year I have decided to partake. Now, for the purposes of this video, we're going to need to be able to use a little imagination. Imagination. Now, to imagine things, it's best to start off with a clean slate, so we probably should get rid of my extremely distracting Christmas sweater and all of the junk behind me. Much better. So as you've probably been able to guess from the title above me, this video is about the Ronald McDonald House charity. Before anyone gets all ticked and thinks that I am advertising for the restaurant food chain, that is not what this is. It is, I'm not going to say the opposite, but it's a completely different thing. The Ronald McDonald House charity is a charity that provides housing and food for families who have children in hospitals with illnesses or long-term diseases. It keeps them close so they can be with their children while they're going through their treatments, and it's a very worthwhile charity. This is where the imagination part comes in. Now, I want you to picture that you have children. Half the people out there right now are all gonna be like, I'm never going to have children. Well, deal with me here, people. Work with me. Now, you have a child. And naturally, you love your child. They're your kid. It's in, like, your genetics or something. You have to love them. I don't think love is in genetics, Rachel. Well, it is now. Now, you love this child, and worse comes to worse. Your child has cancer. I don't want anyone to cry, but this is necessary for the example. Now, because you love your child so much, you are going to do absolutely anything to get rid of this cancer. You will go to any length, go to any hospital, and spend any amount of money that you can, or have to. So, and you do that. You manage to get them into a good hospital, and with all that treatment, but it's about 1,000 miles away from your home, and you can't stay there. You have to go to work so you can afford to pay for their treatments. What the Ronald McDonald House charity does is they provide a place for you to stay in the city with your child while they are getting their treatment so that you can be there with them and support them and know what their treatment schedule is and know what you can do to help from the doctors themselves and ask any questions while you're there. This charity has actually touched me personally. I myself have never had a long-term illness like this, but my sister Sarah did. She got diagnosed with a tumor on her kidney when she was about 6 years old. This was very traumatizing for my parents. I myself was only about 4.5, but even then I knew something was desperately, terribly wrong. They did everything they could for her. They sent her to hospitals, but they don't have any hospitals here in Reno where I live that can take care of that kind of treatment, so she had to go to Sacramento. Naturally, my parents had to be here to do work and to take care of me, but they didn't want to just leave her in a hospital there. The Ronald McDonald House came to them and would provide one of them housing so they could be there with Sarah while one of them was here with me. I wish I would be able to show you some first-hand footage or some kind of acknowledgement from one of those houses, since I've probably stayed in one, but considering I was between the ages of 4.5 and 6 when that happened, I didn't know how to spell video camera, let alone use one, so I do not have any footage for you. The Ronald McDonald House has been very good to me and my family, and they've been good to so many families all over. It is not the best charity, and it's not the only charity that deserves your attention, but it is one of the many that does. If you'd like to donate your time or volunteer, go to www.rhmc.org. You can find stories there, you can donate money, and you can volunteer in your area. Keeping a family together might actually be able to save a child's life. If they have something to hold on to, if they're there with their parents to support them, they might have more will to get through all of that. It is very hard being a child having to go through something like that when there are adults who can't even handle it. So having your family close to you is basically one of the most important things, and that's what the Ronald McDonald House charity does. Now, I know you might not be able to take a teenage girl sitting in her room with a sheet behind her very seriously, particularly if that girl has a zit about the size of Mount Vesuvius under her nose right now. I am advocating for it because it is something I believe in, and someone needs to tell you about it. Tell anyone you know. This is Project for Awesome. Spread it around. Spread around the awesome, the charity. It's the Christmas time of the year, and it's that time when we need to help others. And that's what the Ronald McDonald House charity is doing. That is what the Project for Awesome does, and that is what I am trying to do this year. I'm Rachel Corbett. Don't forget to be awesome.
I wake up in my race carpet, tame the pup that's on my head.